Texas today, Steve Sarkisian, head football coach, released a statement on Agiye Hall. He's the wide receiver. Agiye Hall.
That's how I said. I thought it was Agiye. Okay, sorry.
No, it's Agiye Hall, who apparently removed a tire clamp or whatever you want to call it around his wheel, and he had to. He's been suspended indefinitely. Steve Sarkisian. They reacted pretty quickly to this. You know, when you hear about criminal mischief and whatever else, you never know what it might be. We're aware of the situation involving Hall, have talked with his family, have suspended him indefinitely from all team activities for conduct that is detrimental to our program. Here's the issue. It's not that it is, that he removed whatever that is, that lock on your wheel for a parking fine or ticket.
The boot.
Yeah, the boot. But here's some of what he has been through. He's had issues for a while, and you know, just enough to be annoying, and just enough to where Alabama eventually said, no, you move on too. And I don't know really what's going to happen to him. It's not my call. I don't care if he's suspended forever or if they bring him back after a game or 5 or 6. I don't know. But he walked in knowing that he was already on the clock.
Yes. Yeah, he knew that, and he did this. I didn't even know. I wouldn't even have the wherewithal to remove a tire boot if they put it on there. Pretty impressive. I mean, the fact that he knew that, I mean, that's kind of wild. But, yeah, you can't be doing those things. And, look, you were at A&M, Dante Hall, who was their electric kickoff returner, had a great NFL career as a kick returner. Was with the Chiefs.
What did he do?
He was parking. He had parking violations as well, and that's why he got kicked off the team. He kept parking in the president's spot, and R.C. Slocum kept telling him, you can't park there, you can't park there. And Dante Hall said, oh, well, nobody ever parks there. And he said, well, it doesn't matter. He's noticed the 3 times you've been there, and so he got in trouble for parking. Chris Ricks at Florida State got in trouble for using a handicap thing, got suspended for the Sugar Bowl. There are lots of guys, parking issues. They take these things seriously because...
Wasn't there a player at Baylor who, was it Baylor that had like 50 violations, parking violations? And I'm throwing that out there because I wouldn't remember that probably with anybody else, but I think there was a guy that had just a bunch of them. Yeah. I don't know, about 50.
And part of the reason you have to be suspended for these things is if they let you go, then why have parking rules? Like, why have those rules if you can just break them willy-nilly? And then it also feeds into the football team's entitled. And that's probably the biggest reason that Steve Sarkisian did this, is that you can't just let people go on minor offenses when you're trying to fight a team that is got entitlement built into it for over a decade and haven't done anything.
And they almost admit to that. Yeah. And so, again, this is it's just someone who's, a very tall, lanky, explosive type player, but he kind of probably walked on campus, I would think. I had back and forth with Jeff Howe, who covers Texas, and I said, you got to be smarter than that. But you got to give Sarkisian and Texas credit. They did react immediately, at least as soon as that thing came down the same day from what it appears they did. Now, back to